पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhantinamscha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva ca Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So let us take a page. Sundar Singh gave me a special topic for today. We will Okay. Now you all can tell. Who was distracted? Viswamitra. Who? First? Yeah. Before Menaka, there is another. Actually, you all know that there was a Trishanku who was a king who had a desire to go to heaven. But he had no readiness to perform the process or practice, yajna, spending money and all that, or going to heaven. So what he did, he went to Vasishtha and said, Sir, can you please send me to heaven without performing any sacrifices? And Vasishtha became angry. He said, don't you know the Shastras? Without doing yajna, how can one expect to go to, heaven? How foolish you are. You don't want to pay the price, but you want the results. It's like somebody saying, can you please give me an IIT BTech degree without going to college? I won't make any efforts. So then he went to the sons of Vasishtha and said, see, your father is not such a capable man. He's not very smart. And you guys are more smarter than your father. I think you have the capability to send me to heaven. So when they saw that he's offending our own father, who's like a guru, they became angry. They cursed him to become a Chandala. So then his whole body became blackish, and then he lost his luster, became very ugly. Then he came to Viswamitra's hut, and he was in hermitage. And outside he made a loud noise. He said, look at this world. Even great personalities like Vasishtha are not able to do this. They only talk big, big words. They claim to be great sages, but they can't do this small thing. Like that, he loudly shouted. Viswamitra immediately came out running and said, what is that thing which Vasishtha cannot do? Tell me. I can show you that I can do it. Huh? And then he told them what happened. He said, then I will send you to heaven without any sacrifice. Because I have gained some tapovalam in the forest. I was earlier a Raja Rishi, now I am Maharishi now. With my Maharishi Tapobal, I have the potency to send you to heaven. So then he sent him to heaven, and then Indra saw from the top, hey, who is the UFO coming suddenly? So he took a Vajra. Then immediately Trishanku was dropped back. Again Viswamitra using his tapabal again sent him. So it became like a table tennis. Both of them. And then at that time, Trishanku cried out and said, Sir, I don't mind being on earth, but I don't like to be tossed like this by both of you fellows. Now you are having uh, you know, you and Indra are having a tussle, and I am becoming a ball in between. So you decide either you send me up or keep me here, but keep me in one place. Then Viswamitra said, I cannot go back in my words. Otherwise, people in the world will laugh at me. So I will create one Trishanku Swarga for you. Because out of the 8 siddhis, one of the siddhis is to be able to create by your will. Whatever Lord does, we do it in a small way. Like, God can put Saturn and Jupiter and big planets in orbit. We can put a small Sputnik in orbit. And then he created a small planet for Trishanku. The problem was, after he created that planet, that started rotating randomly here and there. And it came in such a manner that it appeared it even hit Vishamitra also. So he got very frightened. Then he prayed to Lord, I made a mistake. Please kindly protect me and then protect the world from this. And Lord actually made it stand in a place, and then Trishanku was sent there, which is in between heaven and earth. But by so doing, he lost his tapobala by this. Because any time you try to display your false pride, immediately your Shakti gets reduced and you become very proud. That also, the cause of his distraction is pride. Okay, then second time he got distracted, right? Menaka, correct. Now what was the cause of this? Lust. Third time, you got distracted by. So you all know, Menaka distraction is well known. She made the sound with her ankle bell. Yeah? And then Viswamitra heard it. He opened his eyes because the distraction started with the ears and then came to the eyes. Therefore, the two biggest distractors for us are eyes and the ears. And now when I start my chanting, I have a earplug with me. Just put it. So others chanting cannot disturb me. Because sometimes some people will sit next to you and chant very sharply. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like that, they have, even if they chant softly also, their sound is very piercing. You have seen that? Some people. And especially if they sit right close to your ears and chant, it's like they are chanting for you only. And you cannot hear. But if you put a earplug, you are completely relieved of any other sound. Because we should not hear other sound. Whose sound we should hear? Some people put Prabhupada's japa very loud. And then they say, I also finished my chanting. They also finish. We have to hear our own chanting, Prabhupada said. Prabhupada chanting can be in the background if you want, in a very low volume. But we should hear whose sound? Our own sound. So, in case you are able to get a place where nobody makes such a noise for you, then you don't need the earplug. But the ears should not get distracted. Then once the ears are not getting disturbance, you are able to hear the sound. Another big disturbance is the eyes. So Krishna says, bring both your eyeballs, the two black portions of your eyes, bring it to the tip of the nose. But if you try that, you will get a little headache here. So try this. I also tried that. So I just close one of the eyes completely, and the other eye bring it to the tip. Try this, any of you. Close one eye, and the other eye bring it to the tip of the nose. The good news is the tip of the nose is a non-moving part of your body. Correct, no? So you will not get distracted. If you keep like this, very quickly you get very good concentration. You get complete concentration. Because there is no sound disturbing you, and eyes are fixed on a non-moving part of the body. It's very... So Krishna says, this is the method of resting the eyeball at the corner of your eyes. Resting the eyeball. If you don't rest the eyeball tend to rotate like this. I'll just show you how the eyeballs rotate. This fellow. Eyeballs are rotating, see? If you have distracted eyes, we won't be able to focus. See, one fellow is pulled by his ears. Focus lost by distracted ears. On the top I have shown Viswamitra, see? His ears first got distracted, then his eyes got distracted. And then thirdly he became lusty. That is the third picture shown below. See? Right to left, you see. Distraction by ears, then by eyes, then the lust arises in the eyes. And then he got agitated after that. That's why you will find even all the advertisements, they start with sound. You seen that? Washing powder, Nirma, somewhere you hear that. And then immediately you turn around and see, what is that? On masala also they put one song in the station. You know that? And correct, no? Some garam masala song. Very sweetly some lady will sing, and then you see that after that. You want to see who is singing it and what are they singing, what is the content of it. You just go there. And then you see the screen. That's how they catch your eyes. They catch your eyes through the... they catch the eyes through the ears. But Shastras say our spiritual path is called Shruta Ikshita path. Shruta Ikshita. We should hear the truth from Parampara and then see. Where does this come? Very nice verse. Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrit saroja ase shrute kshita pato nannata pumsam yadyadhyata urgaya vibhavayanti tat tat papu pranayase sadanugrahaya. This verse Brahmaji is telling. Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrit saroja. In the heart of the devotee, the Lord comes and stands. When the devotee hears about him and then gets the eyes to see him. But we have to get the eyes to see by hearing first. Shrutekshita pato nannata pumsam, he's saying. So, in this way, that was Menaka, second one. Then what happened with Ramba? He thought, Indra thought, alas, I am not able to. Now again this fellow Viswamitra, with Menaka, he got close to her and then subsequently a child was born. The child's name is Shakuntala. And then Menaka came and gave the child to Viswamitra. Oh, he was wild. I don't have that picture. The one picture like this, he says. Like this. Any of you seen the picture? Yeah, right now. What is the meaning of I don't want this child. See, before uniting with the woman, he is very attracted to the woman. But when baby comes, that he doesn't want. Then he leaves that and the minute he goes to forest, he says, you only take care of the child. But she says, no, I am a heavenly dancer. My business is over. My business is to distract you, that's all. Already I have distracted, you have fallen down. My job is successful. Now I had to go. So she then left the child. There was one Kanva Muni in the forest. She left the child he wanted a child. And he saw the child and then he picked up the child. He took care of the child. And the little girl grew up, Shakuntala. One day when she was in the forest plucking some flowers, one king, Dushyanta, was passing by. And he saw this attractive young girl and became attracted and fallen in love with her. He went to her and asked her, are you a Kshatrani? She said, no, I am a Brahmani. She said, impossible, he said. Because I come from a very good lineage. My Vamsha is pure. In our lineage, we never look at any woman who is of a higher caste as a probable candidate for marriage. If you are a Brahmani and I am a Kshatriya, I committed a sin by considering you a prospective wife. So, go back and find out from your father whether you are a Brahmani or a Kshatrani. In my opinion, you must be Kshatrani. Because I have lived a life of character all my life, but I am feeling that attraction to you. Because you must be Kshatrani. See how much pure people lived their life. And she went and asked her father. Father said, no, you are not my daughter. You are adopted daughter. You are daughter of the king Kaushika who became Viswamitra. Then she understood the Kshatrani. Then the marriage happened. And then he gave her a child also. And then he said, now I am going back to my place and then later on you can come and join me. So then later on Viswamitra will go with her and Shakuntala and the baby Bharat, correct, no? And hand her over to him. That will come later. But that was about his interaction with Menaka. Then Indra thought, this fellow again has gone to forest. Tapasya. Tapavalam is increasing again. Again I have to send somebody. Now this time he called Ramba. Ramba was very afraid. He is a little angry man. Last time only he was angry with Menaka. If I go, I am afraid he will punish me or something. Indra said, why are you afraid? I am there, I will also go with you. I will come in the form of a bird in the forest. And I will make nice sounds like a cuckoo. So, and I will create a very nice season, very nice Ritu and everything. So, Viswamitra was doing penance and very nice breeze was flowing. Cuckoo. Who is cuckoo? Indra only is cuckoo. He was cuckoo. He was making sounds. Nice river was flowing and flowers were blossoming. Fragrance was carried by the wind. Viswamitra was peacefully sitting and meditating. Suddenly he saw flowers showering on him. Picked up the flowers and saw, these are Parijata flowers, which are very rare. They come only once in 12 years. How so many flowers? Even one flower is rare. Then he looked up and he saw Ramba was showering the flowers. Now he understood. He shouted at her and said, already I fell down once with Menaka and I lost my potency and, I lost my tapavalam and now time is wasted now. I have been trying to become Brahmarishi, but I am unable to get any grades to go to Brahmarishi, from Maharshi to Brahmarishi. You have come to distract me, you foolish woman. I curse you to become a stone, he said. So, of course, immediately she got turned into stone and Indra Kuku flew away. Out of fear. He thought, I will get another person. So, that is Ramba. So, with Ramba, what happened to Vishwamitra Muni? Anger. So, in this way, he lost. And Saubhari Muni. What was Saubhari Muni? What is the reason? By whom? Saubhari was distracted by whom? Yeah. Two mating fishes. And what was the cause of his distraction? Lust. And Bharat Maharaj, how he got distracted? By whom? And what are the cause of distraction? Misplaced compassion. Yeah. King Yamuna, maybe some of you may not be aware, who is King Yamuna? Actually, when Yamuna was a small boy, he was only a 5-year-old boy, but very intelligent boy. Very intelligent. Once the king had kept some competition, so many people participated, many couldn't win. But this small boy went and asked 3 questions to the king and the queen. He spoke to them in such a manner that, even all the ministers and all the panditas in the court, they were all flabbergasted. Nobody could stand in front of him. Very intelligent boy. He had read Bhagavad Gita when he was very young boy, at the age of 5 only. So the king had told that anybody who wins this competition, they'll get half his kingdom. So the king shared half of his kingdom with this boy. Can you imagine a 5-year-old boy getting a kingdom? Half the kingdom he got. And then he grew up, even as a young prince, like a prince, he grew up. And then he started taking care of the kingdom. And he grew to a teenage boy. And now he became very absorbed in kingly activities, royal activities. Super busy. So he had one grandfather whose name was Nathamuni. And this Nathamuni was a pure devotee of Lord Narayana. So one day he told his disciple Ram Mishra that, you see, my grandson was also a very great soul. He could have become a pure devotee also. But now he has become distracted. So he has become a king now. And he was a small boy, he was a great devotee. Now life has taken a turn in his life. And then he has become a king now, and a lot of kingly royal activities have come. And super busy now. So if you can go and preach to him and make him a devotee, he will do a great service to me. And disciple means he thinks whatever will please Guru, I will do, correct? No? So Ram Mishra wanted to preach at any cost. So he went in front of the palace and he saw many chariots standing outside. Just like nowadays, you go to any politician's house or office, or some big businessman's house, you find dozens of cars standing, other business people coming to interact with him, correct? No? Similarly, a lot of chariots had come from various parts of the country to meet him. And he couldn't get even an appointment to meet him one-on-one. So he was wondering, how will I penetrate into the palace and what is the method of preaching to him? First of all, entering inside only is difficult, and sitting and giving a Gita class is even more difficult, correct? No? So nowadays also, if you want to preach to some very big people, the easiest way is, because they don't have time, you have to connect with their PA only. And the PA should be brought to the temple, you give him prasad, give him Bhagavad Gita, give him some nice picture, calendar or something like that. Then they take it and the PA is satisfied with you. Then they will say, okay, I will give you an appointment. Because he is the fellow who can award you appointment. But you have to treat PA like that big man only. Like that. If you respect the PA, then PA can do things for you which you cannot do, you cannot know also. Because PA is his right hand generally. So he was thinking, is there any PA available? PA also appeared to be very busy. There was nobody available. Then by Krishna's grace, he got an idea. He got one greenery called as one Tuduvalai. So he took that, it's a kind of shark type of thing. He went behind the palace to the kitchen and said, when the grocery was arriving, he said, I want to give this greenery for the king. He cooked this, it's very healthy. For king, it will be very good. So they cooked it for the king. Actually, in South India, they make this, is very famous. They put jeera, in that greenery, and miri and all that they put. Very delicious it is. When they make it. It's a kind of saag type of sabji. It is. So in the kitchen they made it, and the king tasted for the first time. He said, "Wow, it's so delicious." And then he said, "Give me this every day," the king said. So Rameshwara was also delivering it every day. It went on for a couple of weeks. Then he stopped one day. So 2-3 days he didn't give. And then the king became upset. He asked the kitchen people, "Why that's not being made nowadays?" This is the man who was bringing, he has stopped bringing. Maybe we have not given him any charges. King said, "Give him any charge he wants. Tell him that I want it every day." They said, "We don't know who he is." So the king was very desperate. And king said, "Okay, if he comes next time, call him to me. I will promise him that we can pay him anything. But I want it every day." So after 3 days when Rameshwara came, they said, "King wants to meet you." He said, "Very good. That's what I wanted." I want an appointment. So then he met the king, and then he told the king that daily I can bring it for you. There is no worry. But he said, "But you are such a big man. It is so difficult to get your appointment. At last now you yourself called me. I couldn't meet you, but when you called me, I could meet you." So and then he said, "Your grandfather, Nathamani, he is remembering you still." He said, "Oh." Immediately the king was very happy to hear that. He said, "But he says that he has kept a very big treasure for you. Before he passed away, he told me to hand over the treasure to you." The king said, "Really? Now I am having an emergency meeting with all the kings. We need a lot of gold and silver and diamond now. And you are saying there is a very big treasure available. Tell me immediately, I will send my ministers with you." He said, "No. Nathamani clearly told me that it should not be shown to anybody except you alone. I will only take you and show you. After that, you decide what you want to do." And the king said, "Okay, tell me, let's proceed." So Rameshwara walked ahead, and then the king proceeded behind. One more good thing happened to the king when he ate the suduvalai. It's a saag sabji which produces sattoguna. Shaisa Krishna Aswadilo. Mahaprabhu says, that in that song he says, what is the song? Tekadne Nashanti Pure Prabhu Advait Tera Gare Doi Prabhu Bhojane Bosilo Chakori Aswadana Prabhu Bole Bhaktagana Jai Preme Koro Aswadana Jada Buddhi Parihari Prasada Bhojana Kori Hari Hari Bolo Sarvadana. Very simple, nice meaning. The song says, "Oh dear devotees," Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, "Oh Nityananda and other brahmacharis who accompanied Mahaprabhu, everybody has said, this saag is definitely tasted by Krishna." He says, "Why? Because the saag is so delicious. Unless Krishna has tasted it, it cannot be so tasty." He said. And then he said, "Eat this saag as with the understanding that it has touched Krishna's tongue, and do not look at this saag with a jada buddhi. Jada buddhi parihari. Prasada bhajana kari. And Hari Hari Bala Sarvajana. Everybody chanting Hari Hari, eat the prasada, like that he says." So he is talking about the glories of the saag. So when he ate the saag, the king became more in Sattva-guna. Earlier he was in Rajaguna. While taking all the meetings of so many big kings. Now eating the saag, he came down to Sattva. His mind became very calm, cool, collected, became more pacified. And then he was willing to listen to the good instruction. Walk with me. So he walked there. As the Rameshwara was going on the road through the forest way, he started from the first verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Dharma kshetre kuru kshetre samaveta Mamaka Pandavashaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. He was singing the Bhagavad Gita while going in the forest. That's what people would do in those days when they are moving from place to place. Just keep reciting shlokas. And you don't even realize how you reach the destination. When you keep reciting, take the 12th chapter, full 12th chapter again recite, till 9th chapter, full 15th chapter. When you are walking sometimes one place to another. So as he was singing, he was also relishing it, our king walking behind. And then one verse when he heard, 12th chapter, 7th verse, Mayyeva mana adhatsva, Mayi buddhim niveshaya, Nivasishyasi mayyeva, Atavurdvam na samshaya. This verse he heard, loudly cried the king, lost his composure. He sat under a tree and started beating on his chest and rolling on the ground. He felt a great ecstasy. And Rameshwar asked, what happened to you, king? He said, in my young age, I have been studying Bhagavad Gita. This was my most favorite verse, where Lord Krishna says, oh, my dear devotee, repose all your attention on me. My eva mana adatsva. Offer your mind to me, offer your intelligence to me. If you live in me, you will definitely return back to me. There is absolutely no doubt about this. He said, oh, I don't want to achieve anything in life other than attaining Krishna. He said, my dear Rameshwar, now you go if you want ahead. I am going to return back and hand over the kingdom to my son and others, successors. Now I think I have wasted my human form of life. Now it's high time. Now I should take vanaprastha and then I should go for taking to Krishna consciousness seriously. And Rameshwara was so happy to see this heart transformation of the king. He said, no, my dear king, we have come very close to the treasure. I have promised you, it's not very far. It's a very big cobra is guarding that treasure, and it is surrounded by 7 walls, so nobody can steal it. But I want to show it to you. Please come. After that, if you want to give the treasure to anybody, you can give, but you should see it at least. And he took him where? He took him to Srirangam. In Srirangam, who is the cobra guarding it? Anantashesha. And what is the treasure? Lord Ranganath. And the 7 walls are there all around. When the king saw Lord Ranganath, already love in his heart had become awakened. He fell unconscious. And he became a very great soul. He became Yamunacharya, who became the guru of Shripad Ramanujacharya. So in this way, you will see the king. So King Yamuna, now you can tell me, by whom he was distracted? Royal opulences. And the cause of distraction? Winning. Your prize, correct, no? If he didn't win that prize, he would have been a simple boy, correct, no? Okay, now let's go back here. Viswamitra, how he could have avoided distraction? Now Trishanku distracted him pride. So what is your suggestion to him? Because Viswamitra was comparing himself with Vasishtha, correct, no? So he wanted to show to Trishanku that I can do what Vasishtha cannot do. That means correct, no? Just focus on your goals. Don't get distracted. Don't make any unhealthy comparison. Correct, no? Yeah. Okay. And Viswamitra got distracted by Menaka. Last, what's your suggestion for Prabhuji? Viswamitra Prabhu. Huh? Yes? Yes? Mike is there, yeah. Anybody? Your suggestion? You say you happen to go to forest, you meet Viswamitra, what suggestion will you give him? Association. Association stuff, that's compulsory. Okay. And then later on, Rama came and distracted. What would you suggest, Trishanku?
he has ignored the...
Mike.
Instead of getting angry on Ramba, if he ignored what she's doing, then he might be peaceful and he can continue with
So he should be peaceful, is it? Okay. Anybody else want to add to that? What he could have done? And Ramba was showering flowers. Yeah, please give the mic to him.
So he could have been tolerated because he has seen two fall down.
Yeah, already. It's the third time already. Correct. So that means, learn from. That's one lesson we learned. There's one more lesson we can learn. That, correct, no? Because Hare Krishna, they are chanting with the devotees. Devotees repeatedly say, Jnani, Yogi, Karmi, all useless. Because they all have their materialistic goals. So, if you go to a devotee, they would have told you, Prabhu, you are unnecessarily trying to compete with Vasishta. This is no good. You don't have to become a Brahma Rishi, you become a Bhakta. Devotees would have told you, chant Hare Krishna. Your goal of Jiva is to do eternal loving service. Correct, no? That's it. That's your eternal natural position. Even if you become a Brahma Rishi or if you get some siddhis, you may keep rotating in this world, competing with other jivas. Karmis, they want material enjoyment. Jnanis want relief from suffering. And yogis want siddhis to show off. None of them are happy. You are not happy because you are trying for wrong goals. They will tell him. You become a devotee, join ISKCON, you'll be most happy. So like that they would have told him if he goes to a devotee. He would have gone to a devotee. So that's one possibility. Another possibility is, you can do is, correct, no? Certain some weekly Gita class on, the three enemies, and take to. Correct, no? Not only attending class, it's not that he is not aware. Everybody is aware, but we should take to Bhakti Yoga to dissolve the anarthas in the heart. So that is one possibility we can suggest him also. Yeah?
meditating on the consequences.
Yeah, meditate on consequences. Yeah, we can tell him. That means, learn from previous mistakes and don't repeat. Meditate on the consequences. Before reacting. Correct? Huh? Very good. With whom? With Ramba? With Indra. So how will he negotiate? What should he do? You should tell Indra that don't worry, I am not fighting for your post, I want to be with Brahma Rishi. But Indra doesn't trust, that's the problem. See, Indra trusts only one person. If your target is from Bhulaka to Goloka, then Indra has no problem. He says his route is different. Everybody else, Indra will not trust, no matter how much drama they may do. Like Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj was doing yajna. Indra says, if your goal is going back to God, then why are you doing yajna? You are, that too you come close to 100. That means there is no kuch bharosa nahi. Anytime you will finish 100 and show the certificate to Lord Vishnu, and I am already committing mistakes. It becomes a very good ground for removing me and putting you. So therefore, he was not allowing him to do the 100 sacrifice. So, he is not ready for negotiation. Maybe Viswamitra will need the help of Pavanputra Prabhu for negotiation. So, okay, Saubhari Muni, He saw the mating fishes did lust, he fell down. So then what could have avoided distraction?
Do not meditate on the things by which you can be distracted.
Uh-huh. Actually, he was a yogi naturally, and being underwater is not an easy thing. He was underwater. But when he saw those two fishes mating, that means dhyato vishyantam saha, correct, no? That means he must have not been doing pakka meditation. He got distracted with his eyes by watching the two mating fishes. Correct. That means during chanting, when you're visiting temple also, look at the deities, don't look at others. Correct, no? Actually, not only that, when you are going to the temple, you should always ask, am I going to take darshan or give darshan? Some people dress, you have seen that? Huh? They dress very glamorously. See, if you dress glamorously and go, then you will always be thinking, who are all looking at me? Correct, no? The way you dress yourself, you also think everybody is, amazed by your dressing or something. People have different dress for different occasions, correct, no? When people dress in casuals, they get into a very loose mood also, casual mood also. When you dress formally, then you are in a formal mood. When you dress like a devotee, simple dhoti kurta, then you feel like a devotee, like that. Similarly, if a woman is dressing, she's coming, then she is coming to give darshan, not to take darshan, right? No? So, when you're going to temple, everybody's eyes should be focused on the deity and devotional activities. Even by mistake, if our eyes fall on somebody, and that is little distracting, immediately one should withdraw the eyes. Krishna says that, yato nischalati manasyanchalam astiram, tato niyameta atmani eva vasham naye, he says. As and when the mind goes away, and goes behind the sense objects. Pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. Tasmatam indriyani ado niyamya Bharat he says. Immediately pull back the senses and engage them in Krishna consciousness. Don't think the senses will not go to wrong things. Because we have that impurity in our mind which is causing us to get impelled by the sense objects, pulled by the sense objects. So it may go, but it is possible for you to pull them back. That is within your control. Which means, see, the Maya can impel you but not compel you. What is the difference between impel and compelling? Say you are walking on the marketplace. Somebody is showing some commodity for you to buy. And in the train also many people come, correct, no? Buy this, buy that. So they make sounds. Sometimes they put a top kind of things rotating with lights are coming, correct, no? Many things they are selling in the train. So they are trying to impress you to buy. Yesterday we saw in the train one man came with, nowadays they come with mic also. One fellow is speaking. He said, आप लोग ट्रेन में बैठे हैं, बहुत थके होंगे, हम आपके बारे में सोचते हैं, आपको थकावट होगा, दर्द होगा, इसलिए बैठे बैठे ऐसे लगाने का ये बाम, अब लगा आपको कुछ मालिश भी करने की जरूरत नहीं, लगा देंगे सब ठीक हो जाएगा, दर्द निकल जाएगा. ये पॉकेट they were showing. Then he came to the product, what he is selling like that. वो दूसरे बोगी में लोगों ने हमको छेड़ दिया क्या, लेकिन हम तो आपकी खुशी के लिए हम बेच रहे हैं ये सब. Like the salesman can speak very sweetly, correct? Yeah. But what I was telling, many people try to promote their products to you, but whether to buy them or not is whose decision? Can they put their hand in your pocket and pull out money? They can't compel you, but they can impel you. They can actually try to, like many people, nowadays you see many advertisements. One advertisement I saw, they put like a CD, disc kind of thing. And the girl is keeping it in her face and showing the lips, like they're showing. Because actually everybody knows you will want to see her lips. Along with that you will see the CD. Similarly, they put a car and some tightly dressed ladies are sitting in the front, two of them like one giving one pose, another two giving pose like this, sitting in the car. You've seen advertisements like that? So why are they putting women? Can anybody say?
Directed towards the product.
It is actually sex appeal. Yeah, it's a sex appeal. Because when you look at very good looking woman, then you will look at her, along with that you will see the product also. The whole idea is to attract you. That means they are trying to impel you. But can they compel you to buy the commodity? They cannot. That we should know. So therefore, one should the impelling also happens when you let your senses, for example, you are sitting in the train and reading. If you show little interest in the product, they will not leave you. They will chase after you. The product is being advertised. You just sit in the berth, do your reading. He is not going to pull you by the collar and say, see my product. They won't do it. Don't even look at it. You mind your own business. Correct, no? So was Saubhari minding his own business? No. He got distracted by the eyes. He allowed his eyes. That means distraction means alternative attraction. That's a definition for distraction. Alternative attraction. Why alternative? That means the original object on which you are focusing now, that is boring due to material perception. Material perception eventually causes boredom, monotony, and boredom. That is a material phenomenon. Spiritual phenomenon, the more you focus on spiritual items, it increases. Yadava vimamacheta Krishna padara vinde navanavara sadamanudyatarantumasi tadavati batanari sangame smaryamane bhavati mukha vikara shushtu nishtivanam cha. Yamuna says this. He says that after I started focusing my attention on Krishna, his pastimes, they are producing newer and newer and newer rasa in my heart. And it is so thrilling, he says, that I became so absorbed in it. And when occasionally a thought of a beautiful woman comes in my mind, my lips curl in distaste and I spit at the thought of it. Like that he says. That means he is not facing alternative attraction. Who? Yamuna says. He is already satisfied in the original attraction, which is Krishna. But this fellow is not focusing on Krishna. Who? Saubhari. His original focus is Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. I am spirit soul. I am not material body. I am spirit soul. He got tired doing that. After some time, he got boredom. He could not focus on that type of meditation. Then his mind wanted variety. Then he opened his eyes and he got distracted to the mating fishes. So the sex life of the fishes was attractive for him. So much so that he also wanted similar life like them. Then he got out of the water and went and married Mandata's 50 daughters. Correct? No? So in this way, Saubhari got distracted. So how do you begin? What is your suggestion for Saubhari? What could have avoided distraction? The first thing is to safeguard the eyes. If you are meditating, don't let don't let senses flow towards sense objects. Correct? No? That's first thing. That is one thing. And the second thing is, correct, huh? Take association of devotees and develop higher taste by focusing on spiritual variety to transcend attraction to material variety. If he did that, which he didn't do, on the contrary, he offended Garuda. Correct, no? That's another reason. Later on, he became a devotee. At that time, because he had offended Garuda, he thought devotees are bad. So he turned away from devotees, and that became cause of his offense and fall down. But later on, he became a devotee after many, many years. Both him and his wives also. Everybody became devotee. Went back to Godhead also. Okay, and Bharat Maharaj, baby dear, he became distracted due to misplaced compassion. So what could have avoided distraction? Any solution for Bharatji? Bharat Prabhu? Yeah? Huh? Mike, give the mic to him.
Association of devotees.
He had no association to tell him that, Prabhu, you're going overboard. Huh? Care for the deer is good, but not, you are offering, ahuti in the yajna, but you are looking away from the yajna, correct now? See, here he saw this baby deer, infant deer, and he brought it, looking pretty. Actually, he was a king before, so naturally kings had a propensity for protection. Kshat. Kshat means to protect. So that propensity is not gone. That is there in the Swabhava, correct? No? No problem, sir. Even saintly people should be compassionate also. So you brought the deer to ashram, perfect. Then what he did? No. See, now he is offering ahuti to Vishnu. But look at his eyes. Where is he seeing?
Yeah.
That was the problem. Please read it. Because, take the mic.
Because his attraction for the deer was so intense, Bharat Maharaj could not concentrate upon worshipping the Lord or performing his ritualistic ceremony. Even though he was engaged in worshipping the deity, his mind was restless due to his inordinate affection. While trying to meditate, he would simply think of the deer, wondering where it had gone. In other words, if one's mind is distracted from worship, a mere show of worship will not be of any benefit. The fact that Bharat Maharaj had to get up at intervals to look for the deer was simply a sign that he had fallen down from the spiritual platform.
That means before the real fall down took place, he already had mentally fallen down in that sense. Huh? So he had become distracted from his worship. See, for him, the deer was the cause of his distraction. For us, there are many causes. Like smartphone can be a deer for you, or some woman can be a deer for you. Correct, no? Some other any cause that appears attractive for you, but which becomes a distractor in your spiritual life, that is a deer for you. Correct, no? Like there was one boy who was telling that, Prabhu, in my 7th, 8th standard, I got connected to a girl and we were good friends. But eventually we became a little intimate. But later on, now I came to college, she went to some other college. Now the distance became more, we don't connect. But now if I am trying to connect, but she's not interested in me. Then I told him, you see, Prabhu, you are not the only person in this whole creation who is doing this. Practically every jiva is doing the same thing only. Every jiva, not only jiva, even cockroaches are doing, dogs are doing, cats are doing. Cockroach has cockroachni, kutta has kutti, billa has billi, sher has sherni, more has morni. Similarly, every boy has a girl who comes in his life, and it is an arrangement of illusory energy that she came in your life. Like you have got attracted to her, every other boy gets attracted to some other girl, whom he thinks she is very good looking and nice behaved. Maybe I can marry. He is deciding on his own without consulting his parents. As if he is the ultimate decision maker. Correct, no? Then I told him, you two guys are making plans. Did you consult your parents? He said, no, Prabhuji, I never thought of that. That's the problem of everybody. In teenage, nobody thinks about that. But your marriage will actually come in 27 or 28. By the time you guys become too intimate and then you tell the parents, they will say you cannot marry. They have economic consideration, monetary. They have caste consideration. They have language consideration, status consideration. Sometimes the sambandhis cannot gel with each other. They quarrel like anything. Correct, no? I said, marriage is a big thing, I told him. Don't get into all this. And your academics will be ruined totally. I said, right now, see, Arjuna was a warrior. What was he doing? He was fighting. He was not doing romance in the battlefield. He was fighting. Similarly, you are a student. What have you come for? Your father is sending you money for this purpose. Taking your girlfriend to hotel. Is he giving you money for that? He is giving you money for what? Studies. Focus on your academics. Academics, and this is conditional duty. And your constitutional duty is chanting Hare Krishna. So every jiva has a vertical duty, horizontal duty. What is horizontal duty? To your parents, to your brothers, sisters, academics. This is horizontal duty. What is vertical duty? Chanting Hare Krishna, reading Prabhupada, ABCD, which will take you up. If you do only horizontal duty, there are boys who say that no spiritual life. They are like a duck only. What does duck do? Bug, 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 it's just making sound. On the ground level, it will be rotating. It can never fly. But a swan can fly up. So what we should do? We should do both. Do the horizontal duties and take all your parents, everybody along with you in spiritual life also. You also go up. So we have to combine these two like a railway line. I always give the example of railway line, isn't it? Two lines are required for the train to go. Material duties and spiritual duties. Ma manusmara. Then you do that. So here what is happening? His material duty was to protect the deer, and his spiritual duty is to do yajna. But instead of doing yajna, that one railway line has got now spoiled. Only one line is working now. The train is going to topple now. Correct now? He has forgotten his spiritual duty. You see, in inattention, how the sinya means the lack of attraction. That comes from the word udasin. Udasin means you become indifferent to chanting. If you feel, oh, my heart is not engaged, I don't feel any taste in chanting. If you feel like that, approach Vaishnavas who focus on japa without material influence. Cover your eyes and ears and chant, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Intensely chant, he says. Don't be udasin. See, what is the meaning of indifferent to chanting? Your lips are chanting, but mind is not engaged. Mind is looking here and there. Mind is thinking of plan making or something else. Udasin. Like here, he is doing sacrifice, but he is actually not focused in that. Secondly, jadya means lethargy, laziness. Japa interrupted to attend a so-called important activity. That means you keep your smartphone on your lap and you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Beep. Something comes. Oh, what is this? You see that, and then you keep it on. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Beep. And then you say, and with the fingers you do this also. You're doing what kind of chanting is that? That means you are lethargic. So, or some people leave the hall and go to the room to take a small nap, and that nap becomes a big sleep. They say 5 minutes I will take a nap and come, and then you look at the clock, it is already 9 o'clock. 3 hours are passed, 2 hours are passed. So don't take a break. Then your chanting will remain, and then you look at the japa beads. Only 2 or 3 malas are over, and another 13 rounds you have to do. That will be a big burden for you during the day. So never leave the japa hall, where all devotees are there. In case you feel little tired, get up and jog. Come here near the window, take a long breath, and jog your hands and legs. You can jump up and down, and you feel fresh. And also make sure that you got 6 hours of good rest in the night. You deserve rest, and in case you want more, you can take 1 more hour also if you want. 7 hours also you can take, but you have to sleep early. One boy is asking, oh really bro, can we sleep more? Instead of 4:30, can we come at 5:30 or 6:30? No. Sleeping you have to do on the other side. Night you have to go to bed early. Correct? No? Not that you sleep late in the morning. So, association with Vaishnavas who chant constantly, such Vaishnavas that will help you. Avoid prajalpa. Don't talk in between chanting. Don't see this thing, smartphone or anything. Therefore, smartphone can lock it in your locker. Morning time, no need to keep it on your lap. That's a big distractor. See, this fellow went to sleep a little bit, in between chanting. Yeah. The third one is vikshepa, which is distraction. You see? What is vikshepa? Absorbed in wealth, opposite sex, position, material success. You see? When you are chanting, the holy name will not be heard. Yeah. So, that means these things will come in the mind when you are chanting. For example, somebody is thinking about a romantic activity, somebody is thinking about his carrier. One boy was telling that Prabhupada was chanting, thinking about my GRE TOEFL, and then going to America and doing my MS and then joining Microsoft in Seattle. And then I was chanting. I was already traveling in the car inside Microsoft. I'm in a big position now. I'm a project manager, like that mind is saying. I opened my eyes and saw I'm still a first year boy, with a bead bag in the hand. He was in a dream world. So mind can take you anywhere. That is distraction. So these three things, how the Sinya, Jadya and Vikshepa. What is the difference between the first and third one? How the Sinya and Vikshepa, what is the difference? Both look similar. Yeah. And give the mic.
Means in other singer, he will be able to see that time is not that much distracted to other things, but then taste is not there.
Taste is not there, correct. He is wide awake. He is not thinking of this or that. But there is no eagerness or enthusiasm to chant properly because his attachments are there. Whereas the third one is not attachment, it is only attraction. So which is more serious problem, attachment or attraction? Attachment is more serious problem. Because initially what comes as attraction, eventually becomes attachment. The difference between attraction and attachment is, attraction can be overcome by pulling your senses away from the object of attraction. But attachment, very difficult. Like for example, a monkey is seeing a pot. Sorry.
And puts a sweet bait into the pitcher, and then ties this pitcher to a tree with a very small opening. And the monkey comes, puts his hand into the pitcher, grabs the sweet. As it closes its fist to grab this bait, the opening is so small that a closed fist cannot come out of its mouth. But the monkey does not understand that all it has to do is let go of its little booty to free itself from slavery. It struggles and struggles to get its hand out, but doesn't open its fist and let go of the bait. Continues for all night, and in the morning, shrewd hunters come and catch it, all because of its attachment to it.
Now we got. Now these people will take it to the village where they will put a stick and say, jump now. You will jump. Now jump this side. He will have to become a slave of those men. Correct? And although in forest so many other eatables are available, he was mad after this one. Same way with fish also, if you see. Fish gets a lot of food arranged by God, in the ocean. But the fish wants a meaty bait, for which it goes up and then catches what is the hook of the fisherman. Then he puts his mouth there, he gets pulled out. He dies. Similarly, if you see, for all of us, rice, dal, sabji, chapati is easily available. Is it difficult to get? And what is difficult? Sweet, Mahaprasad. Correct, no? Some people have to cut a sorry figure because they go to the pujari room, they hang around there, and some senior pujari is asking, hey, why are you hanging around? Because they also know why he is hanging around. Because he is going to beg for some Mahaprasad. Are seva nahi karta, prasad mangta. Like that sometimes they shout, you don't want to wash pots, but only you want to demand, prasad aayega na bahar, thoda usko alag rakh dena, ye item mujhe bahut pasand hai. So because of a long tongue, we have to cut a sorry figure. Like the monkey only. Correct, no? So on the other hand, you see, if you only want rice or sabji chapati, will anybody scold you like that? That's abundantly available. Correct, no? For fish also it's abundantly available. And not only that, when you eat very delicious foods, then your tongue becomes more and more a slave of those food items. So that is that how the sin means attachment to opposite sex or attachment has more serious problem than Vikshepa. Therefore he says, cover your eyes and ears and chant. Intensely, chant loudly. Whenever there is a Audasinya, when you chant loudly, then the mind begins hearing slowly. Yeah. And also association with advanced devotees can help. Yeah. These are different things given. So Prabhupada says, when you are pure in eating and sleeping and mating and defending habits, then you are pure in action. When you are pure in action, your mind is pure. Then you can hear the holy name while chanting. This is coming in the famous verse. Tatra kirtayado vipra viprarsher bhuri tejasaha aham chadyagamam tatra nivishtastat anugrahat soham shravayishyami yadadhitam yadamati. That's a verse. Nivishtastat anugrahat. Sutta Goswami is telling, my only qualification in that sabha where Shukadeva Goswami was speaking to Parikshit and many thousands of sages, my only qualification was Nivishtastat Anugraha. I heard with rapt attention. There Prabhupada is asking a question. How can one hear the holy name or holy fame with rapt attention? And then he gives the answer. Only one who is pure in his mind can hear the holy name or holy fame with rapt attention. Who is pure in mind, is asking. One who is pure in habits. Who is pure in habits? One who is pure in eating, sleeping, mating, and depending. How can we be pure in eating, sleeping, and mating? Very simple. For eating, you should only eat sanctioned, sanctified, and regulated. Then you are a pure eater. Sanctioned food is what? Vegetarian food. And sanctified is offered to Krishna. And regulated, that means, if there are 3 sweets supplied, you take only 1 sweet. And you don't have to overeat and stuff your belly with heavy amount of food. You take little quantity, 50% of your belly, and then you have to digest it. And also for the tongue wants titillation. Little Mahaprasad you can take. Everybody gets little Mahaprasad, correct, no? That nobody will scold you for the little. You will get scolding only for lots. Correct, no? For little, when you exceed the regulations, then you get a scolding. Otherwise not. Like Prabhupada saw the hippies eating too much gulab jamun. Hey, enough now, don't eat so much. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada, you only told us eat as many as you want. We remember 4 years ago you said eat like a duck and sit in the class peacefully. Prabhupada used to say, you allowed us to eat so much gulab jamun, now why do you say don't eat? Prabhupada said, see, I only told you to eat that time, now I am only telling you don't eat. Because if you eat too much, you will sleep in the class, you will sleep in japa, and you will become fat. You will sleep during the day, and you will become disoriented, and your focus will be lost. Daytime also you will sleep 4 hours, night you will sleep 8 hours. Half the day will go in sleeping. In this way you become a dull boy. So Prabhupada said, no. If you want to be slim and brisk and energetic, dashing, quick, fast, swift, and focused and concentrated in your life at every point of time, one should sleep early and rise early and have 6 hours of good rest at night. And eating should be moderate and fixed times of the day. Like I eat in the morning 10 o'clock and afternoon 4 o'clock, only 2 times a day. So now I'm already 56 now, I eat only khichdi only. Of course, some days chapati is available, I take. Otherwise, mainly khichdi, heavy khichdi in the morning, thick khichdi, and evening liquid khichdi, that's all. You put light food, then you can always be slim, ready to run. Once you become fat, you have to carry the body. Correct, na? Isn't it? So keep your body slim, sleep well, eat moderately, regulated. Occasionally you may eat sweet once in a while. In our temple, once in a week we get little sweet, that's all. Other times we don't eat. So in this way, keep regulation. That means sanctioned, sanctified, regulated. So in this way, follow this, then you are pure in eating. And don't eat anything anywhere. Some people say, no, I went to a Jain hotel, I just took rice from there and some dahi, and I just Hare Krishna and I took it. No, that food is impregnated with vairagya. Because Jains are very strict in their discipline, correct, no? They follow non-violence and vairagya. But we want food which is impregnated with love. Love for God, which is available in ISKCON. ISKCON devotees cook with devotion, remembering their deity, and it is offered to the deity. So you should eat prasad cooked by devotees, and not eat in hotels and here and there. So if you're pure in eating, any of you who takes Kantimala, You should make a vow that if you have to travel across the globe, I will cook myself. You can have your own picture of Raspberry, you can keep it, cook and offer to them, and then that's the ideal standard. Then your eating is pure eating. Then how to sleep purely? Sleeping for Krishna. Anybody can say how you can sleep for Krishna? Yes? Give the mic to him.
So because I have to chant very nicely.
Yeah, mic.
Because I have to chant very nicely.
Yeah.
So
That means when you're going to bed, you're thinking, oh, tomorrow I want to keep my chanting very first class. So if I am well rested, then I'll be able to chant briskly. That means you are rendering service by taking sleep. Yeah, brilliant. Very good. Give him an applause. Very good. That means his intention is to please Krishna, and serve effectively, efficiently. So then that's the way you can sleep. And what sleep is not pure sleep. If you're sleeping 8 hours at night and 4 hours in the day, sometimes sleeping in the sofa. Like one boy was telling, probably today, there was a mass bunk in the college. So he went back to room. What you did? Then he slept. Because mass bunk, no exams for next 2 months. Then what to do? Many boys don't have any plan for their life. If there are no exams and the college is a holiday, when their famous pastime is come back and take sleep. That's all. That's good. At night they won't get sleep. Then they will sit with their smartphone. Then they will be watching shorts, YouTube shorts, Instagram. And that is how people get spoiled. So what we ideally intelligent boys should do, as soon as you see there is mass burn, go to the library. There's a silent room. Intelligent, smart fellows will be there, sitting with the books and sitting with magazines, studying Indian books or foreign other books, everything. Utilize the time till evening there. Come back to the center, and then do proper book reading, hearing. You have to give self project for yourself. Okay, next 2 months there are no exams. Nothing wrong in studying extra and keeping ready. Correct, no? Intern students don't waste a single moment. So, eating, sleeping, mating. What is pure mating? Anybody? What is considered pure in mating? Like a man is accepting a wife, father is giving kanyadan and he is doing pani grahana. Correct, no? Pani means hand. He catches her hand and goes around the fire and promises the father of the girl that I will protect this girl till my last breath. He gives the assurance, and father is happy, and all elders of the family bless the couple. Proper marriage. That's Krishna says, Dharma viruddho bhuteshu bhamosmi paradarshana. That's a pure mating in this. They produce a child which will be a saintly child, very good child if they are devotees. Like that. And for us, those who are not married, a pure mating means seeing every woman as a mother. For brahmacharis, they are not going to marry, they don't want to marry. Then all women should be seen as mother. Plus, apart from that, a brahmachari should not watch porn or adult content in the screen, whether it is smartphone screen or computer screen. As soon as something comes, immediately should take his eyes away, knowing well that this is like a snake. If the snake enters into my system, it will kill me. So one should know that by mistake also, if some pop-up comes, something comes, immediately one should, reflex action one should show. That's why whenever any of our brahmacharis or somebody has watched one of the first questions I ask is how many minutes they have watched. If it shows that only 15 seconds, that means he is a pakka sadhu. But he didn't intend to see it. Something came up, he immediately took away his attention. If somebody said 40 minutes he saw it, that means he has thoroughly polluted himself. He has become impure in his consciousness now. Poison has already entered into his system. He is infected by Maya already. So mating means don't watch impure things, don't hear impure things, don't associate with boys who speak Gali and things like that. Correct, no? And also don't purchase cinema magazines to watch nude pictures, the train or something, time pass. One should not watch such things. So in this way, 8 things are that Yajnavalkya says. Don't talk to women with the intention to enjoy them. Don't dally with women. Don't flirt with women. Mind your own business. You are allowed to marry, have bigger children. That is not improper. That is allowed in Shastra. But prior to marriage, connecting with the opposite sex for enjoyment is illicit. Avoid completely illicit sex, gross and subtle, avoid it. That is pure mating. And then defending, unnecessarily don't pick quarrel with anybody. Because if you become revengeful towards somebody or angry towards somebody, you can't pinch your neighbor and expect you can keep quiet. They are going to attack back. They will also pinch you back. So, devotee means they will defend, but they will not offend. Like Pandavas, have you ever heard they attacked Duryodhana unnecessarily? Never hear. But Duryodhana attacked several times and they only defended themselves. So then it is pure defending. In this way, these four things you do purely, then you get a pure mind. When mind is pure, then you are. The famous verse, Yuktahara viharasya, Yukta cheshtasya karmasu, Yukta swapnava bodhasya, Yogo bhavati lukkaha. See, morning when you chant Hare Krishna, what happens? It destroys your material desires. Material desires in the form of, seeds in your mind. Imagine you have 1,000 marbles in your mind. Marble like seeds are there in your mind. What are they? Each of them represent one desire. Desire for woman, desire for wealth, desire for fame, desire for this. Now it's very difficult to crush them. But who crushes them? Chanting. Chanting takes out all those, desire seeds out. It's like when you are chanting Hare Krishna, it's like burning away those seeds. There are many seeds, desire seeds, kama karma bijas. So, chanting and destroy them and gives determination and awakens the sleeping soul. See, it can awaken us, it can give us determination. Like Haridas Thakur chanted Hare Krishna and he had the determination to face Maya, correct? No? He didn't get distracted by her because of intense chanting. He crushed all his material desires to powder. So he could have the determination to face her. And he was fully awakened. And not chanting, what it causes? Then we get spiritual weakness. We can see that boys who feel very weak, Prabhuji, I'm very weak. Definitely there is some problem in chanting and hearing. And they get deviated into material ambitions. Like Saubhari Muni had a very weak meditation, spiritually weak meditation. So he got deviated into watching the fishes. Correct, no? It was not strong. So therefore, chanting should be done very nicely. Second thing, regularity principles. If you follow strictly, what do you get? You lose your desire for sinful habits. Just think about it. See, giving up sinful activities is not as great as losing your desire for sinful habits. Anybody can tell the difference? What is the difference between the two? Yeah, give the mic to him. What is the difference between the two?
When we give up the sinful actions, later on we may again desire to do it.
Exactly. The propensity is not gone. We may say, okay, I will not do it, I will give it up, but then the tendency is lurking in the mind, isn't it? But when you lose the desire for sinful acts, like how many of you were eating meat before? Now you don't touch meat at all. Any of you? Yeah, correct, no? So that means that is because of your regulatory principle you are following. 4 regs you started following. Now you can completely give it up. Whole life you will not want to touch that. That means you lost your desire for sinful habit. The same manner other things will go away also. Like for example, initially, there are some boys who are like playboys. They hang around with multiple girls. But then later on they understand, they can come to our philosophy, they understand. And then they become more careful. Now they may not hang around, but still that propensity is there. They may watch computer, porn and other things. Later on that propensity also goes away. They slowly withdraw. And then they come to a point where they see all women as mothers. Then they will see all women as souls. And like that, that will come. That's why regulatory principles should be strictly followed. Eventually it will produce firm conviction and bhav for Krishna. If you study Prabhupada's books, how do you study Prabhupada's books nicely? Discuss the subject minutely, inspect it from various angles, and savor new understandings. Prabhupada said, study my books scrutinizingly from various angles, he says. How do you study from various angles? For example, Dhruva did penance. Hiranyakashipu did penance. Correct, no? Now, what is the difference between Dhruva's penance and Hiranyakashipu's penance? Correct, no? One can compare and see. Different people are doing penances. Dhruva meditated on Supreme Lord, whereas Hiranyakashipu meditated on Brahma. Dhruva also, there are similarities and differences. What are similarities? Both had a material ambition. That is similarity. Both performed a severe tapasya. That is also similarity. And what is the difference? Dhruva had a guru, Narada, and Hiranyakashipu independently did on his own. And Dhruva was pro-Vishnu, for Vishnu, and Hiranyakashipu was anti-Vishnu. You can see that. Dhruva was not against Brahminical culture, but Hiranyakashipu was against Brahminical culture. Like that, you should see from different angles and understand. Like, for example, Ajamila saw in the forest some dirty sight. Correct, no? Narada also saw a dirty sight of Nalakura Manigiri. Both of them are seeing. But what happened to Ajamila? He fell down. Narada Muni saw these two fellows enjoying with Devis in the water, Jalakrida they were doing. But Narada uplifted them. How? Why? What is the difference? Why Ajamila fell down and Narada Muni could uplift them? Mike, who wants to answer? Raise the hand, anybody? Here.
Narad Muni have higher taste, but Ajamil don't have higher taste.
Very good, Haribo. He's a pure devotee, he has developed a higher taste. So he could uplift this fellow to the higher taste. Nalakamani, by sending them to Vrindavan as trees. Correct, no? But Ajamila, he doesn't chant the holy name. He doesn't know about devotional service. He's a Vedic Brahman, doing some karmakand, that kind of Brahman. So once he became a devotee, he also developed a higher taste in Haridwar. Then he went back to God after that. So in this way, this is how we have to study Prabhupada's books. And Prabhupada's book study, but if you only study, then you'll have a big head and a small body. And try to picturize how it will be. Yes? Do you want a just big head? I am a very learned Pandita? No. Therefore, you should combine the study with seva. Practical seva, washing pots, distributing books, cleaning toilets, distributing prasad, distributing holy name, Harinam Sankirtan, preaching, worshipping the deity. We should do some practical service. Actually, we should go to the authorities and beg, Prabhuji, please give me some service, because without service, no progress. My Guru Maharaj spoke one lecture, the title is No Realization Without Service, he said. So, Prabhupada book study is like eating food. Service, digest the food. How many of you digest the prasad, what you eat? Sure? Yeah, then you have to do seva. Physically also seva helps you to digest, correct? No? If you don't activate, like you can climb up the staircase or come in the lift. There are many fellows in the airport, you will see, they use escalator to go, and they use, even for walking also, they have this conveyor. With a fat, obese body, they are standing there like this. Why do you stand? Walk a little bit. Because if you walk, at least some exercise will happen. Because they don't walk at all, that's how they become more and more stocky. Correct, no? So, in the same manner, if you only study, you become a big scholar, but no practical service. So, study and seva, that gives knowledge and bliss. Study will give you knowledge, but seva will give you bliss. And then you become convinced, and then easy to perform austerities for you. Joyfully you will perform the morning austerities, or getting up in the morning and doing all austerities. Then you get success in Krishna consciousness. And so, Kaviraj Goswami says, hearing is like eating grains and drinking water. When you daily take prasad, after 1 hour or so, you take water also, correct? Then it aids the digestion. So, similarly, the eating and drinking is necessary for your body to get strength and stamina. So, he says that hearing spiritual knowledge is like that. If an ordinary man doesn't eat, he will grow weak and die. To hear and explain the Vedic literature is most important than reading. Prabhupada said not only you should hear and read, you also should explain to others. Why am I asking question to all of you in between? Because then you think. Otherwise, we generally may not think. You may just hear it like this and leave it like this. But if you go and tell some people about these things, whatever you learned in the morning, you take a small notebook and pen and just jot down some bullet points. Catch one devotee coming to temple and say, Prabhu, I'll tell you something interesting. Pleasant way, yeah. Gauragopal was once telling that in Chapati. Somebody asked him, how you remember so many things? He said, every single thing I learn, I catch 3 people and tell them. He said, on the same day, if I learn something today, catch it. They asked, whom do you catch? He said, I catch anybody who comes to temple. And so many newcomers come. Call them, please come here, take this peda. He'll say, thank you. Thank you for the peda is all right, but you have to hear also. Hear me, some nice thing I'll tell you. Today I heard 4 lectures in the morning, 4 points in the morning. These are the things. 3 people you tell, and that those points become your asset permanently. But many of us, when you don't tell to anybody, you tend to forget it. In this way, chanting, regulatory principles, studying our Prabhupada books, and hearing, when you do these things repeatedly, regularly, in a focused way, you will be able to avoid distractions. So, the third and fourth one, third one is about studying, and the fourth one is about hearing. Like you hear, everybody should hear Prabhupada. In your temple, there's a habit of putting Prabhupada in the bathroom, which is very good. Early morning, loudly it's going on. Every day at least something goes into the ears, correct now? So at least at 15-20 minutes hearing Prabhupada, 15 minutes hearing Guru. And then we can hear many others who may inspire us. But minimum, Prabhupada and Guru are very important for us. So studying Prabhupada books, hearing, regular principle, chanting. See, Yukta Hara Viharasya, famous verse. All of you repeat it. Yukta Hara Viharasya. Yukta Cheshtasya Karmasu. Yukta Swapnava Bodhasya. Yogo Bhavati Dukkaha. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So this is a famous verse it is. 4 things you regulate in your life, your distractions will be gone. You'll be able to do in a very focused way. Eating, sleeping, recreation, work. I'll quickly pass this. See, eating, sleeping, recreation and work. So, Prabhupada says if you have extravagance in these 4 things, they can block your advancement in the practice of yoga. So, yeah, this already I told you, regulated food. Irregulation and eating habit. When you are a young boy, any time of the day you may eat. But when you grow up, you will see if you don't eat it at a fixed time, it will cause problems. Ulcers and all will come. Make sure. Modern day irregularity, party culture, fast foods, chemicals everywhere. The result is hospitals are increasing exponentially, lifespan is reducing. So, therefore, we have to know what is going inside our body. Actually, food affects a lot your consciousness. Proper prasad is very important. Okay, these things already I told you. And then sleeping. The Prabhupada says here, unnecessarily time spent in sleeping is considered a great loss. Abhyartha kalatvam. Prabhu Goswami says that. Adjas Thakur would chant, 3 lakh names a day. He won't eat except prasadam. Unless he has channeled his rounds. Very, very strict. This you all know that, and we have studied about early to bed and early to rise. Wake up with the sun and sleep with the sun. See, animals which keep awake at night are tamoguni animals. Who are they? Fox, mosquitoes, owl. We can include the humans also who keep awake. Correct, na? So they are tamoguni. Those who keep. See, too much sleep, Prabhupada, it makes you, and too less sleep makes you lazy. Because if you sleep less, your brain will be heated up. You will be angry with everybody in the daytime. And if you sleep too much, you become lazy. Oh, sorry. And similarly, sleeping, irregularity. See, this manager is feeling sleepy because irregular pattern. I think he must be running 3 shifts, I think. Night out culture. See, in the dark night, without the light, you should not see the smartphone. Eyes will get spoiled. Activities at night, morning time is wasted. Amanchi culture, don't know which is day, which is night. That is because of the 3 shifts I told you. How to regulate sleep? Yeah, night is meant for sleeping. Yeah, basically you should sleep at night. According to Ayurveda, 9 to 3 is the best time if you can sleep, or 9:30 to 3:30, or 10 to 4. That's the latest. Beyond that, it is not good. Yeah, this you all know about the Brahma Muhurt. Mind can absorb like blotting paper very nicely in the morning. See, efficiency increases when we act as per the time. Like you see, if you flow with the nature, no? Like morning is Brahma Muhurt, you do prayer and, prayer and singing and chanting, japa, all these things. And the daytime is a time of work. You also work. Nighttime is a time of sleep. You are flowing with the nature, so you get a lot of efficiency in that. You don't have to go against the nature. Tell the body releases toxins between 9 to 3 p.m., 3 a.m. A lot of time is saved, you see. And then work. Yeah. He doesn't do anything which is not connected to Krishna. So we should do work in a regulated way, 100% gratification. How do we do that? In modern times, people work 16 hours a day. People go in long distances, traveling, overcrowded trains, MNC shift culture, no time for family members. And then many companies do breaking the regulatory principles and all that. Driven by stress or envy, deadlines. Actually, because of that, people are not peaceful. They have a lot of money nowadays, but they are revengeful and unhappy. Cost of health and character. Yeah. No loyalty. So we should do work in such a way that we should have time for God and time for family. So we say morning for God, daytime for job, evening for family. This is for Grihastha, tripod. Any one of the leg you break of the tripod, the family is unbalanced. Like there was one manager, he went up on corporate ladder, and then suddenly had a massive heart attack and admitted in hospital. Marginally saved. And when he went home, his wife had already divorced and gone. So wife said, "You are not giving time to family. I'm going with another man." She went. So in family front, failure. In job front, in health front, failure. Only money is in pocket, no happiness. Scriptures recommend 8 hours of work per day. Prabhupada says in 7th canto. 8 to 9 hours for job. Then it should not be sinful. One should not work for a sinful company. Offer some fruits to God, it's important. Do all activities as an offering to Him and offer a part of your earning. Do work under guidance of Guru. Correct, no? So don't act independently. In this way, Guru will always guide you in such a way that you will live in association. You will not go away from association. That type of guidance is required for you. Then recreation, what is allowed for recreation? Since there is no question of sense gratification, there is no material leisure for a person in a Krishna consciousness. That's no material leisure. This lady is asking, Swamiji, what do you do for recreation? Prabhupada said, what do you think we are doing? All day we are doing recreation only. Prabhupada said, See, people are watching video games, promoting violence and hyperactivity. Nowadays there are many video games like Blue Whale, they say, like Grand Theft Auto and things like that, which are, once you get into them, you cannot come out. It's like one way. They are very, very intoxicating and addictive. I heard that they even shoot commandos also. They teach. That's why look at this boy. He's watching with the gadgets, becoming violent by saying this. It's very dangerous. Movies promoting lust, anger, and greed. TV bombarding useless information, harmful emotions often. Intoxicants, drugs degrade youth to the level of insanity. Internet distractions and so on. Correct, no? These are all the so-called recreation nowadays. All harmful, deadly. How to regulate? Purpose is, what are the recreations for a devotee? You can go for walking. Brisk walk, do yogasanas, swimming, kabaddi, wrestling, devotional music, dancing and chanting, sharing and caring for one another, and exchanging loving relationships, and learning to do most of your work and not trouble others much. So these are things by which you can regulate your life. Regulated recreation. So many. Anybody else can think of any other recreation you feel in Krishna consciousness besides this? Yatras, correct? Yeah, dramas, very important missing here. Yeah. Dramas. Dramas are wonderful. You can have debates also.
Running it comes under the recreation.
Jogging, yes. Running, you can go jogging, walking. Sharing pastimes with others. Yeah. Learning to speak and following up boys in the hostel. That's also very enjoyable, correct? Na? Door to door, going door to door. Book distribution, most important, yeah. These are recreation activities that boost up one's physical health, mental peace, and strength and vigor. Yeah. So one is stuck in Rajoguna, Tamaguna, one cannot make progress. But if you regulate the 4 activities, you can come to Sattoguna, and in Sattoguna you can very easily concentrate. Then your mind can become pure. You get an idea now. Okay. So now these 2 fellows will finish it. Bharat Maharaj, baby deer. He got distracted, misplaced compassion. So what could have avoided the distraction? What I will tell Bharat Maharaj, now the deer is too much distracting you. Better you send him with other deers. Now he's a little grown up now. See, when you brought the deer, it was a small fawn. Fawn means a baby deer. Now is it baby now? It's grown up now. Go to the forest, find out where the deers are living in that area, David. And then you come back, you are completely peaceful to do your spiritual life. Correct, no? That would have saved him, but nobody told him that, and he also didn't think about it. He developed attachment, he couldn't give up the deer. And King Yamuna, what is your suggestion for him? He got distracted by royal opulences, and the kingdom came at royal opulence also came to him at a very young age. What would you suggest him? Accepting a guru.
Accepting opulences for Krishna conscious activities.
Okay. Accepting guru. He needs enlightenment. He's a good soul, but he needs someone to enlighten him. So what he said was very good. Accepting a guru makes it easy for everything. Everything else follows. Once he has a guru will guide him in his life. Regularly hearing Shastra. Not in childhood. Yeah. Like some boys, some IIT boys are attending online. Yeah. So one of the boys was telling that, I used to read Bhagavad Gita when I was a small boy. I was memorized slokas and all. Now when I grew up, now I got into material study, material education, So, but when you get in touch with Hare devotees, then again you can revive what you were doing before, now you lost it. So regular touch with Shastra is important. So these are all examples. You got an idea. Practical steps for. So in essence, what we learned today, let me. Right? Everything got fit? Yeah. See, besides making this table for you, outside this I took you to some PPTs also. Correct, no? Here you understood what could have been avoided, what could have been done to avoid distraction. So we brought out in each of the cases who caused the distraction and what the cause of distraction and how it could have been avoided. Besides this, I also took you to many solution part I took you. So now I want to quickly hear from you, last 5 minutes, and what are some of the solutions you heard for anyone who want to overcome distractions? many solutions, because that's the most important thing for us, correct now? Yeah. Give the mic, please.
You need association, someone higher elevated than you.
Exactly.
You should be connected to himself.
Yes, and you can draw that support. Very good. Thank you. Yes.
Revealing heart at initial level.
Revealing heart in the early stage itself before falling down, and that will save us. If you don't reveal the heart, we keep mum out of fear that what will others think of me, then later on without help we fall down. The early stage revealing. Very good. Thank you. And then?
Regulated habits.
Regulated habits that we learn. Yuktahara viharasya. So regulation in eating and sleeping, work and recreation. So 4 things. Regulation. Very good.
So what I have heard from Goran too, so he says just for that moment, tolerate. And
Tolerate.
For that moment, tolerate. And after that, everything will be clear by the Vaishnavas or hearing Bhagavatam.
Yeah, correct. So cultivating tolerance also. It says na agama, apayino, anityaha, tam sudikshasva bharata. Just like, for example, say you got a wound in the knee and it is causing irritation and pain. Your finger wants to go there and scratch around the wound. The more you scratch, it starts bleeding. So doctor says, it's itching now, it will go away, but don't touch it. So even though it may be itching, what you have to do? Tolerate. Apply the medicine and tolerate the itching. And if you don't touch it, it will get cured. If you don't listen to doctor's instruction, you touch it here and touch it here also one more wound will come. And then touch it here also it will come. Everywhere, 4 or 5 wounds will come. But if you want to stop the wounds, apply medicine and tolerate. In case hand is going there, tie the hand. So don't let it. So 2 things, applying medicine and also our medicine is chanting Hare Krishna. Tolerating is following 4 rings. The Prabhupada has given us both. And tolerate the urges and chant Hare Krishna. These 2 things together if we do, very soon we will find the wounds will get cured, all the unwanted distractions will go away. Very good. And then?
Focusing on goal.
Focusing on the goal. We have come for a goal. Viswamitra went to forest for becoming Brahma Rishi. He got distracted by pride, lust, anger and all that. That means he got distracted. So remember the goal repeatedly. Remind yourself, human form of life is rare. Time is precious. Life is short. Anytime this body will be gone. Death will come anytime. Let me just focus on the ultimate goal. So keep track of the goal. Very good. And then?
Use your eyes and ears.
Take care of your eyes and ears. They are the biggest distractors. Yes.
Understanding when to stop. Like Bharat Maharaj, it was his duty to save the deer. Once it is deer was old enough to take, it can take care of itself, then you should have leave it to the...
You should know responsibility is good, duty is good, but how in the name of duty you can't afford to lose spiritual advancement. So it happens with some boys. Like one boy, long before 1998, 99, he used to come to my program. His name was Purnananda. 4 rounds he was chanting. Then he went home and came back and said, Prabhu, now I have stopped chanting now. He said, why? Parents have told me not to chant, I am not chanting. So I am not going to come for the program also. And we tried to persuade him, he didn't listen. Anyway, 6 years later, I was sitting in my office. One elderly man came with a bead bag in his neck with specs. He said, Radheshyam ji, aap? And as soon as he met me, loudly cried. I asked, who are you? And he said, do you know Purnananda? I'm his father. He said, oh, you are the one from Nasik. I know, but he was very happy that I know the place. Like that he was telling. And then I asked, what happened? Why are you crying? I heard that you parents told him not to chant. That boy didn't chant, he went away. He said, that is why I have come to meet you, he said. He said, now my son became a drug addict after that. He's admitted in the rehabilitation hospital in Pune. So I have just come to beg you, if you can just give 1 hour of yours, because there's a lot of respect for you from the early days. You can come to the hospital and speak to him a few words. It will be very good solace for him. So then I asked him, but you guys stopped him from chanting. you parents, then how are you chanting now? And he said, that's another big story. When he became a drug addict, we got so frustrated, we went all over the country to different hospitals. And later on, when he came back, due to lacking, he's the only son for us. So due to wanting peace of mind, then we went to a temple, and the local temple happened to be ISKCON temple. They made us devotees. We went to, now I'm chanting 16 rounds, he was saying. So, he didn't allow his son to chant 4 rounds, now he's chanting 16 rounds with tilak and everything. Just see. But the son got distracted in his life because of the father and mother telling him not to chant. So what he said was a good point, that you have duty to parents, relatives, friends, but you have to fly your own plane. You should remember that. They have their spiritual life and you have your spiritual life. Everybody has to fly your plane. If anybody tells you don't chant, they are your great enemy. Correct or not? If somebody stops you from going to class, taking chanting seriously, so take care that you don't get distracted by people who divert you away from Krishna. You have to hold on. Krishna got us. Any other solution?
Learning from previous mistakes.
Learning from previous mistakes. Not repeatedly doing the same distraction. Once you learn lessons and put it on a chit or something in front of you. Don't commit the same over and over again. Yeah. Anything else?
Hear and understand.
Hear and understand, yeah. When you hear, instead of having to experience and understand, hear and understand. Hear, Mike can be here. Mike, where's the mic? Yeah.
Always take seniors' guidance.
Take guidance and do things. Don't act independently. Guidance is very helpful.
Revealing heart to senior Vaishnava and hearing chastisement.
Sometimes it is good to... See, we fear chastisement, so we don't reveal. But if we reveal, even though they may be a little upset, but it will save us. So which is better? To reveal and tolerate a little scolding and then be saved, is that better? Or to not reveal and fall down is better? Reveal is better. That real intelligence. Yeah.
Align ourselves with the nature.
The nature is sattva, rajas, tamas. Follow that. Tamas means you should sleep that time. Sattva means you should pray and give affirmations to the mind, give positive energy producing inputs, spiritual inputs in the morning. They are much better to do meditation, chanting, reading spiritual literature. Morning time is very good. Daytime is good for working. Align with nature's cycle. Don't go against nature's cycle. Nature is very powerful. If you go against nature's cycle, you will ruin your body and mind. Correct? No? Yeah. Anything else? Serving pure devotees. Serving pure devotees digest the knowledge which we get. Otherwise, we will only have a big head. We don't want to become scholars. We want to become devotees. Devotee means we should also read and hear. And we should render service also. Yeah. Yes?
Talk to the devotees what you have learned.
That's very important. Takeaway point. Because if you speak to 3 people in a day, what you learned in the morning or something, then you will become thorough. Whether they remember or not, that's another problem. But you will remember. Akhyatani, apyaditani, like the Bhagavatam says. Aditani means you should explain also. Akhyatani. Yes.
In temple, you should take darshan of deities except others.
Yeah, exactly. And don't come to give darshan, go for taking darshan of the deities. Similarly, nobody should be wearing glamorous dresses to attract the eyes of the others. Don't disturb others' eyes, and the others also should follow. So the deities are there for us to take darshan. Other than deity darshan, don't get distracted. In case distraction comes, what to do? In case suddenly your eyes went somewhere and you saw something very charming, attractive, what should one do?
Drag the eyes back.
Yato nischalati manaschanchalamastiram tatasato niyameted atmani yavasham nayet. Bring it back, Krishna says. Immediately pull it back. Practice that. Then, anything else?
Association.
Association of devotees is very important, yes.
Simple living, high thinking.
Simple living, high thinking, very good. Avoiding? Very important. Unhealthy comparison is a big distractor. Like somebody will be chanting Hare Krishna and getting revengeful thoughts. Chodu mane usko. Hare Krishna. Krishna will not be happy. Krishna will say, why your mind is so crazy? Unnecessarily don't agitate your mind. Yeah.
Also, when you explain this, but if you focus on the spiritual thing, then you will develop taste, then you will not get distracted.
Correct.
Looking out.
Correct. So internally he lacked higher taste, due to which externally he got distracted. That means external and internal have a connection also. So therefore internally we all have to eventually develop a higher taste by hearing, chanting, serving. Krishna consciousness is not a duty, it is not a burden, it is our food. It is a natural food, a relishable food. So once it becomes like that, then we purify our mind and develop a higher taste. Very good point. Thank you.
Defend ourselves, but don't offend.
We can defend ourselves, but we should not offend others. For what Saubhari Muni did, he offended. So, by defending ourselves, we are protected by Krishna also. But if you offend, then we may become an angry person. Then later on, that offense makes us weak spiritually. Saubhari Muni became weak spiritually because of offending a great devotee, Garuda. Yeah.
Taking care of horizontal and vertical.
Taking care of horizontal vertical duties. Don't get stuck in horizontal material duties alone. Take care of spiritual duties. That's a great challenge in this world. Because spiritual duty requires focus, and horizontal duty takes away that focus. Repeatedly, we should try to do the spiritual activities. Therefore, one of you was saying, keep life simple. Simple living, high thinking. Those who have simple life, they are able to get adequate time and energy and focus for spiritual life. Those who go for bombastic living, big bungalow, big car, big money, then they can serve Krishna with money. One boy was asking, Prabhuji, why do you always discourage making big money? I want to go to America and become a billionaire. I said, become a billionaire and give half your money to Krishna. I told him, you can serve Krishna through your money. But if you want to serve Krishna in a more advanced way, with your body, mind, words and everything, then keep your life simple living, high thinking. Both type of service can be done. You can serve as a billionaire also. You can serve as a simple devotee.
Distractions can impel you, but they cannot.
They can impel you, but they cannot compel you. That's a good advantage, right? Nobody can put your hand in your pocket and pull out money without your desiring so. But you should not get tempted. You won't get tempted in this part. Now all our advertisement ads in the TV and in the smartphone, they are all impelling people. And people are not having high character, so they get compelled. Correct, no? So you have the choice. So one last thing, I'm going to show you a picture and then we conclude. How your concentration should be. For that I have some pictures. See this one. See the students, how they are attentive. The right side. You see the teacher is speaking something serious and they are very attentive. It should be like this, like pouring oil from one teapot to another teapot. It requires attention. Otherwise, you're looking here and there, oil will go out, right? Similarly, welding. How many of you have done welding? Yeah, isn't it? It requires attention. Because if you take it too close, it will stick. If you keep it far away, no welding. That requires focus also. Who is this one? Arjuna. He hit the eye of the wooden bird exactly because he knew. He had a full concentration. So like a lens, you see. Our mind is like a lens. If you focus it at the focal point while chanting attentively, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Chant and hear, chant and hear, chant and hear. When you profusely chant many rounds, when you hear, when that focal point comes, then you can burn away the impurities in the heart. Lust, anger, greed will be burned away. So early morning chanting is very good. If somebody can get up at 3:30, let it be 4 to 4:30 chanting is also very powerful. But if you don't hold the lens at focal point, any other point it won't burn. Or if you're shaking the lens, the mind is agitated, then it cannot burn. Correct? It cannot burn the impurities. These are the things. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki, Bhakta Vrinda ki.